I think we're past a solution that is just going to be as simple as closing off that border. And it's part of it, but it's not the whole solution.
What would you recommend as a potential solution?
I mean, first off, treating this as a legitimately regional problem, not the Mexico-U.S. problem. This is a regional problem now. Being better as Americans and speaking to our representatives to audit every single cent that is being sent down to Mexico and that has been sent down to Mexico for the government to fight this war on your behalf down there. Think about this. When I started my career, the solution to fighting cartels was putting a bunch of us in the back of trucks and chasing these fuckers around. What are you seeing right now in Mexico? The same thing. The same solution. That's the same solution. You hear stories about special forces. I think there was a group of 11 U.S. Army SF guys that went down to Mexico to train some of the elite units in Mexico. Those guys are not going to make a dent in anything. They're going to arrest. They just arrested the son of a former cartel head in Guanajuato. Mm-hmm. But they arrested their dad his dad 2 years ago. That supposedly stopped everything, right? No, fuck no. They just arrested his son, burned a bunch of fucking cars. During Christmas, they murdered 12 young men and women that were part of a Christmas party in Guanajuato. And they didn't want to allow one of these cartel guys to come in there, but he wasn't invited. So what did he do? Came back and shot all of them. I mean, this is a problem that is just past everything that we. I mean, I've seen the solutions that Mexico has in front of them as far as what they're trying to do. None of that's going to work or do anything. I think it's time for the U.S. to legitimately audit what it's been doing down there as far as influence, money, and policy, and legit cut that flow of money off until this fucking legitimate solution where there's a lot of things that actually you can actually audit down there as far as what's being done with that money. I'm a taxpayer too now in the US, and a lot of that money, and I received some of that money through payment as far as my salary, uniforms, training, vehicles, weaponry. I'm here to tell you that it's the same money that's being pumped down there. And I don't see, we are entering the last year was the most violent year in Mexico's history with all that money and all that support and all that. El Chapo Guzman was arrested by U.S. intelligence and the Mexican Marines doing their thing. What did that do? Nothing. Realistically, it didn't do anything. It turned one guy into 3 kids, and they've been doing their thing now, and you arrested his son, and that's not doing a thing to cartel or stop the drug flow and people flow into the United States. And people are massacred and being murdered across the country. And the numbers that are out there are supplied by the government, and it's clear from some of the leaked documents that they're not real numbers. We outperformed the Ukrainian war as far as murders and death during the first 72 hours. Mexico outperformed it.
Do you think it's even possible to diminish or shut down the influence of the cartels in Mexico at this point, or is it too far gone?
I mean, to be honest, I think that's going to be our next war.
Just right at the southern border?
I think that's going to be our next war. And when I say a war, I mean the army isn't going to do anything. And they're obviously compromised. The government that they prop up or support is a leftist, anti-U.S. and pro-China and pro-Russia government. The amount of pressure that is being built up as far as some of these caravans of humanity. And again, not all of them are criminal. Not all of them are bad. Not all of them have diseases. That's all scare and fear tactic shit that people say out there. But they're all feeding a giant organization that is also supplying the United States with drugs and other horrible things. And they're also fueling a war that's killing and consuming humanity in Mexico at a rate that is sometimes out fucking surpasses a war setting. And somehow that's not in the front page news because I don't know why. I don't know why that's being kind of kept quiet.